Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Dimitri's Desk. This is episode 15. Today is September 24th. And man, we got a dose of volatility today in crypto markets. Everything seemed to dump. And here's what we have for our agenda this episode. As always, we're going to look through all the charts for BTC, IOST, EOS, ETH, and we're going to take a look and recap on the indicators. I'm going to share exactly what I saw before we dipped on BTC. I actually posted this on Twitter as well. We're going to dive deep into that and see where the prices might be catching some support, where it might be heading next. So without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, we're going to kick this off with BTCUSD daily chart first. We've been observing this for quite some time. Obviously, we've been looking at this descending triangle that I've been talking about for multiple episodes, and we've been tracking it. Now, looking at the BTC USD, obviously, we had a significant day today to the downside. If you did take on those short positions, you did end up picking up pretty hefty percentage points to the downside. Now, we looked at this, and I've warned you guys about the slowdown in volatility. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the volume as well, the volume has been dropping on a daily basis, and we had slowdown volatility where we were essentially cooking up this next move for BTC, and this is exactly what we got today. So now that we dipped all the way down to 8K, looks like 8K was the one where we spiked to, and we start retracing back to 8,500 as being the support. In the meantime, looks like we're kind of lingering around there. This is something that I've posted on Twitter the day before it actually happened. If you take a look at the Ichimoku indicator, which is a classic indicator used in traditional trading, it actually means one glance, even though it might look a bit confusing. But really what you should see in one glance is either this is going to continue go higher or go lower. And as you can see, we're below this red cloud, which indicates a downward pressure. And I've identified this yesterday as well. Volumes going down for BTC, so we were getting ready for that pop to the downside. If you follow me on Twitter, I did post this chart on Twitter yesterday. If you don't follow me on Twitter, here's my Twitter handle. Feel free to follow me. I post these charts quite often when I see something interesting in the market. It looks like that played out in my favor, so cheers to those who did put on short positions before this move occurred yesterday. But now that we have this breakthrough in a descending triangle, we're going to be looking for any type of support coming in at 8K and 8,500, and we'll see how that's going to hold up day after day. As we drill down to lower time frames, we can see that the 4-hour candle right now is forming where the buyers are starting to hop in and pick up BTC. I know a lot of people are loading up on these dips, which is a great thing, because overall, even though I was bearish on this recent trend, I'm overall bullish for BTC. It's just that we have to put everything in perspective in terms of trading and time frames. So for the time being, we did get that descending triangle move. If we can get meaningful support with daily candles showing us buyers are coming in and holding a floor, then I'll be re-engaging in my interest for the upside for BTC. At the moment being, we need more time to see what this move is going to mean. All right, we had quite a bit of fundamental news coming out. We have bakkt that started trading futures. And if you actually take a look, last time the futures were released from CME was back in the day when Bitcoin actually reached all the way almost to 20,000 mark. And then we just started descending hard from that point. So I don't want to label it in a way where, hey, bakkt futures are in now, and now we're going to continue to move lower on BTC price, because obviously the market conditions were different back when CME came out with their futures. And also CME futures are different from bakkt futures, because bakkt futures are giving the ability to traders to do actual physical redemption of BTC, while CME did not do that. We actually looked at the COT report for CME, the commitment of traders, which showed dealers and the buy side institutions basically taking positions in Bitcoin, and it was interesting to see how they played out. So commitment of traders report, here's what we looked at multiple times in previous episodes. As you can see, the sell side, the dealers, this is the actual institutions that sell you these futures products. Usually, like I mentioned, they keep their books net without any exposure in the market. But when they see an opportunity, they definitely don't offset those positions. In this case, it was short positions that were not offset, and a little bit of long positions that they're probably going to carry on and hold them for a bit until BTC starts recovering. But looks like they were pretty good on calling that short on the current prices of BTC. They've been holding the short position since 8.3, and looks like we're still in the same place right now for dealers based on COT report. So again, next steps for BTC. As I mentioned already, I'm looking forward to see support play out above 8,500. Once we get that, next resistance is going to be against the descending triangle lines that I have painted here, which is going to be 9,200. We'll have to see how that's going to be respected, because there might be some bearish momentum that might kick in again, and we might go lower. So you might want to take your time when you put it on positions after a day like this. Obviously, quite a bit of volatility. If you did get a chance to catch that short, congratulations on those profits. Now, moving along to IOST USD, obviously not a good day for IOST. We've talked about this range where we had to hold basically above the mark that I have painted here, 74.25, and close above that to continue to go higher. Otherwise, we're still stuck within that range between the 0.6 and 0.7. And we actually today had that breakdown where we broke out of this range that I have outlined here, and we moved lower. We touched, looks like we've touched a mark of as low as 0.38, 0.37, which is definitely not good, but this is what you get with the volatility in the market right now. If you take a look at the other coins, you'll see something very similar. So we can see that the ATR, which is the volatility indicator, is showing the pickup in volatility, and we really need to hold that 0.5 on a daily in order for the price to really show some signs for it to move higher. At the moment, it looks like we're still developing that daily candle. I'll be looking to see how that closes. Last time we've been that low was December 16, 2018. So we spiked all the way down there. It looks like some buyers came in and picked it up, and now we are trading at 0.465. So this is the current state of IOST. Looks like, again, the way the chart is, we need more conviction in terms of price, giving us support and making some higher tops. At the moment, we're not getting that, so we're just going to play it as is. ETH/USD, I've talked about this on the last episode. I was excited about ETH being above 200. And if you did catch an entry at 200 when we tested it, you did end up picking up a bit of percentage points. As a matter of fact, you got a little bit above 10%. And on the previous episode, I was warning you guys about resistance points that I have outlined here, which is basically the 220 mark. And then we have the 240 mark, which are the big resistance points. So if you did play this trade, you had to have your stop below 200, so you did not risk too much to gain 10%. As a matter of fact, if you picked it up closer to 200, you could have risked, about 3% or even 4% to gain 10. So make sure your risk reward is in line when it comes to trading, because that's one of the biggest things that hurts traders when they put on positions. At the moment, things are not looking good. Obviously, we made that low as almost 150 on ETH/USD. It looks like the daily candle, looks very similar to other tokens that we always talk about here. But at the moment, again, we're back into that below 200 for ETH/USD. I'm going to have to see conviction of a price reversal above 200 for me to start piquing my interest for the upside again on ETH USD. So right now we're kind of in this hold mode. Now, one of the biggest movers that really caught my attention, and I've talked about EOS USD for quite a bit, and I was talking about how choppy this market was for EOS USD. And we did make that run, higher to like 4.26, but I wasn't too convinced. Like I mentioned, EOS USD needs to be above $5 for me to start re-engaging in any type of bias to the upside. Until then, I'm not going to touch it. And looks like the drop today itself was one of the biggest drops compared to other coins in the same rank. So we dropped all the way like more than 30% on a day basis. We're below $3, which is significant for EOS USD. Obviously popping volatility, as you can see by ATR as well. So again, this is an example of what I've described last time. EOS USD, as long as it's below $5, I'm not looking to touch it at all in terms of long positioning. And before we wrap up this episode, I wanted to share this with you guys. This website is called coinfarm.online. It shows open positions on leveraged platforms like BitMEX, where you can see open positions and see how many short and long positions are open right now on those platforms. So an interesting thing that I saw right now, as you can see, it's almost even, but actually yesterday this was quite skewed. You saw something where it's like 65% short and then 35% long, which is interesting because those people actually made quite a bit of money on the short side, and majority was on the short side. So this is something interesting to keep in mind as you kind of monitor this market and you get to the point where there's a really big slowdown in volatility and you have price consolidating within a small range, and you're expecting a volatility to pick up and the price to pop up or down. So this is something interesting to check to see how everybody is betting on the next move for BTCUSD when we get to the point where there's this sideways movement and volatility slows down and we're at this break it or make it point. So this is something interesting to check out to see how other traders are positioned on leveraged platforms like BitMEX. That's about it for today's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave any comments that you have about the information that you received, and I'll catch you guys next week. As always, happy trading.